Thank you, and yes, the after party is in Witherspoons, if anyone's buying, I'm available. They say dress for the job you want, but I don't endeavour to labour. So I've taken up nudism just to be on the safe side. But as Jezebel acknowledges, there's actually a lot of jobs in that as well, so it's backfired a little bit. The thing is, I don't just not aspire to work. I don't aspire to be even working class. I'm from the criminal underclass. I'm very happy there, thank you. My dad was in prison when I was born. It's quite a funny story. It's quite a sweet story, really. He came to this country. He was born in a concentration camp. Came to this country as a refugee, and he thrived in education. He loved it so much he went straight to Borstal. and then prison, and then he never worked again, so you can be absolutely fucking sure he didn't come here to steal anyone's job. He didn't want a job, yeah? And neither do I. I thought I'd wait to get on stage until all of my opinions were unpopular, but I like to start small, so the first person I'll slag off isn't here. I'll work my way forward if any of you want to get involved. I got dumped a couple of years ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago, but I've got to be honest. They say revenge is a dish best served cold, and talking about his saggy balls on stage for 2 years has been an absolute delight. I'm not that bitter anymore. No, it's funny. He was one of those guys, right? He's one of those 5'7" guys. You know the ones I mean. Yeah, it's the ones that are 5'5". Thing is, he used to say I was bad at spatial awareness, but like, if I put on a 3-inch heel and I'm looking you straight in the eye, that's maths, isn't it? That's all you are. Now, so there was this weird thing about him, right? So he had these tiny, tiny baby balls, and it was weird. I really liked it, but I was worried. I was like, is it okay to like baby balls? Like, could you be a pedo? I was worried. I checked, don't worry, it's a loophole. It's just like a bald fanny, as long as it's on an adult. That's the rules. Okay. Anyway, he was one of those guys who used to always say, if a woman ever came on the TV, and he'd just be like, oh God, what's she talking about? And he'd be like, you know what she needs? It's a good seeing to, right? At the time I thought that was a terribly sexist thing to say, but I have recently had a really good seeing to. It's mind-blowing, isn't it? I mean, I'm a different person. I am not bitter anymore. Who knew that's what it took, you know? Yeah. So it's funny, so no one plans on becoming a cougar. You just wake up one day and you suddenly understand why the prey don't want to get caught. Oh, I understand why it's a predatory animal, yeah. The worst thing about that is I'm not even the best cougar in my household. My mum is 76. And she's literally the queen of the cougars. Her boyfriend is 40 years old. He's so exhausted he couldn't make it this evening. Honest to God, right? She's such a queen cougar. We've had to rebrand her. She's a saber-toothed tiger. I don't know. Perhaps I'll choose an animal that's not a tongue twister. Or drink less, but I think we all know which decision I'm gonna make there. Which one is it gonna be? Anyway, so yeah, as I said, I thought, I don't know why, but I waited to get on stage until all of my opinions had become unpopular. Like, so for example, I know it's not trendy, but I'm quite a big fan of a 70s muff. Yeah. It's not really a sartorial choice. I'm just too fat to shave it. Like, and the thing is, right, so there's a gig over in the Old Town Barbers that I've been to a couple of times, and thank God those guys have helped me out, because like I don't really like the only thing they do in the salon is they will give you a wax, right? But if you're like, you know, a bit of a slut, that's like a 2-week wait. I can't be doing that. So you need to shave, right? That's the only option. As far as I'm concerned, the people with the skill set to do that are, you know, it's someone who's dealing with a cutthroat razor and an Adam's apple, isn't it? It's a barber. That's the person with the skill set. And that's how I got banned from all the barbers in Brixton. What can you say? The thing is, there's normally like a lot of guys just hanging around. I wanted to make a show of it. I'm an attention seeker, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so the other thing is, so like I used to be a feminist, and I feel like this is a dangerous room to say that, but like for me personally, it has not worked out. Like I don't know if I've misread the instructions, like you do on a jumper just after, before you shrink it, but like basically, the feminists promised us a lot, right? The first one was financial freedom. Yeah, that sounded good. I was like, no daddy, I don't want the proceeds of crime. Crime doesn't pay. I want to go and get my own job. Yeah, like, you know, and then I realised it's not freedom, is it? It's not financial freedom. You're free between the hours of 5 and 9 after you finish working for the man all day. It's not free, is it? My daddy wasn't going to work me that hard, and now I'm too old for a sugar daddy. You know? And the other big thing they promised us was sexual liberation. Now, that sounded exciting in your 20s, you know? I'm from the generation that invented jogging, so it's an exciting time to be alive. I passed my driving test at 17 years and 3 months. It's a rude awakening to the sexual world. Anyway, yeah, so they promised us this sexual liberation, but like in your 40s, it's just another job, isn't it? And at this point, I'm like struggling to find a voluntary position. No, you can catch a dick in your 40s, you just have to massively lower your standards. And you know, yeah, like, I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I did pick someone up on the night bus from Dalston the other day. I'm lying. It was the rail replacement from Dumpton Park. But in my defence, he had drugs. So I'm not totally a slut. I think that's my time. So I'm going to leave you with, you know what, no, you can catch a man. I've had to, you know, I'm losing my looks. I thought, you know what, try and develop a personality. Hasn't worked out. Turns out I'm a cunt.